Partially, my fashion advisor. Partially because I know we all want to go to another bar. Partially because everyone else stole all of my jokes. But you know, and apologies in advance if my jokes aren't quite as sharp. Because I would like to have Maddie as a girlfriend later tonight. So bear with me.
Bring it!
So this is the fourth birthday that I've spent with Maddie, which is kind of cool because you know the first birthday that we had together, you know, I planned a nice little dinner in DC, and that was kind of the end of it. The next year was, you know, a couple dinners and then a party and meeting with friends and whatever. Flash forward to now, where it's a month-long celebration. That you know, I import my own friends from Ithaca. And this isn't even a joke. In all seriousness, when I reminded Maddie that my birthday is next week, she seriously looked at me and said, "Why do you get all the attention?" Also, just for the record, I know you guys have been laughing at Maddie all night. It's really not a joke. This is my life. I deal with every day. But so there's a lot of you guys know we were in DC. I met Maddie in DC. I met her in a conference room, actually, because she was interviewing for a job that I was hiring for.
You didn't get the job.
She got the job.
She did not get the job.
Yeah, I saw her through the glass of the conference room, and you know, I was instantly smitten. She killed the first interview; it was great. So I had to call her in for a second round interview, which wasn't really even a thing. I just wanted to talk to her again.
Good job, good job.
But, you know, I kind of pitched this convoluted plan to try to get her to date me. Which I guess kind of worked, and I also imagine will be the basis for one of Harrison's screenplays one day. But you know, it was really great. It's my preferred way to date now. I get to call all of her references. Right on the cusp of like the hot, crazy signal. So it worked out really well, and she ultimately turned down the job, even though we were going to offer it to her. But she did agree to go out on a date with me, which was great, and probably not just because I kept name dropping Bono. But let me tell you what it's like to date someone as neurotic as Maddie for 3 years. As a lot of people mentioned, one of the first things you learn is that that everything has feelings in Maddie's life. Inanimate objects, totally, you know, static things. She has a drawer full of dead electronics, 8 iPods, and a Tamagotchi.
Motorola pink razor.
Yeah, that she refuses to throw out because they might be lonely if they make their way to the graveyard of the dumpster, whatever. And if inanimate objects have feelings, just imagine how she feels about, like Jess said, a bug. I think our first major fight really came over an ant that was in my apartment that I tried to kill. And she threw herself in front of me as if I were a tank in Tiananmen Square. And needless to say, the bug lived. I'm pretty sure it took over my lease after I left Arlington. But she won out on that one. You also learn the four major Maddie food groups, which are smoked salmon, frisee salad, sour gummy bears, and whatever the waiter puts in front of me when you go out to dinner. And whenever we do go out, we'll stand in line for 20, 30, 40 minutes waiting to get into a club. Thank you for that. We'll wait in line for like 20, 30 minutes at a club or like at the airport, and we'll finally, by the grace of God, get to the front of the line. and Maddie will spend another 5 minutes searching for her ID. And that makes me think, like, maybe we just shouldn't go out at all. Like, she clearly can't handle it, so we'll just stay in. But whenever we stay in, it's like, I have to babysit. Like, these are Maddie's favorite things, like cartoons, candy, puppies, SpongeBob. You know, like, I'm not even sure she functions as a real adult when I'm not around. I actually caught her eating candy for dinner, watching Nickelodeon reruns in her bed just on like a Thursday night. It's not really that normal.
Yeah, thank
But
you.
do you like Daisy? But do you like Daisy?
I do like Daisy. Actually, I wish Daisy was here.
Daisy's
the cockapoo. But the worst thing that ever happened in our relationship was the day that Maddie got her Fitbit, which now requires her to track how many steps she takes every single day. She has to hit 10,000 a day. She doesn't always hit that goal by the time she leaves work. She always hits the goal by the end of the day. She doesn't always hit it by the time she leaves work, which really means that I have to get dragged on this convoluted loop. She'll trick me into like taking a long way home or whatever, which means that she's one step closer to reaching her goal, and I'm one step closer to strangling her.
You do have to cross east-west 4 times to get home from the office.
That's not a thing.
But it hasn't all been bad. It's actually a lot of fun dating Maddie. When she actually moved to New York before I did, and while I was still in DC, and I came up to visit her for the first time. I started in the first New York apartment, and I get into her building. She answers the door, and the first thing she says to me is, "Take off your pants." And I was like, wow, like this long distance thing, like it might not be that bad. And she was like, no, you don't understand. You've been sitting on Amtrak and Greyhound and the subway. Your pants are filthy. New York is filthy. Those aren't allowed in my apartment. So for any of you who think that Maddie wears the pants in our relationship, the joke is on you, because I'm not allowed to wear pants at all.
No, we heard it last night.
The CGI crew heard that. But in all seriousness, I'm really happy that I get to close out the night. I'm really happy that you were all able to make it for Maddie's birthday. I know we all love her a lot. I love her a lot, and I know we're going to keep this going a lot later, and we're going to figure out what bar we're going to at some point.
Mr. Fong's.
Mr. Fong's. So we'll keep the party raging after that. But thank you guys again for coming.
Obviously, I'm a middle child. I like it when people talk about me at work. Anytime like, does anyone want to make some remarks? I'm like, I do. I don't care what it's about. Put me in front of an audience.
Maddie, I would really like someone, like Mike or someone else, to tell the dead person story.
All right, you can all ask Mike about the dead person story after this. It's one for the books. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. We're done with the roast. I will not interrupt you. Drink the rest of the alcohol. We're going to have some dessert. For anyone who would like to continue their evening, we'll probably walk over to Mr. Fong's and keep drinking. For anyone who wants to go home, no judgment. I do it all the time. We judge you.